there are two types of web analytics. Okay, there is a on-page web analytics and there is an off-page web analytics. Now let's talk first about on-page because that's what we've been discussing till now. Whatever information is captured on your website about the customer is on-page web analytics, which is, like I said, if I go to Amazon, whatever data Amazon has captured about me is on-page analytics, right? Off-page analytics is what is data which is already available on the internet. So if you go to Facebook and if you select, I want people between the age of 38 to 50, living in Lucknow, living in Kanpur, and living, say, in Delhi, who are interested in, gardening, I will on Facebook get a potential reach, right? A potential audience. Now, this data gives me a number of people in that particular areas who are interested. So it marks all the data sets that I've selected, right? So the person is living in one of these cities, is interested in gardening, etc., is between 38 and 50. Now, this data is on Facebook. Facebook has captured the data about that person, right? Now, if that person, right, if the website wants to capture saying who are the people coming from other websites. Now, off page on Facebook, you can see this data when you're selecting the audience and you get that audience and you're showing them the ad, right? I'm constantly showing ads to these people who are matching that data set of mine. However, out of that, there is only a specific number of people who will finally go onto the website. So if I have targeted 50,000 people on Facebook with that specific age bracket and the specific information about city and interest, out of the 50,000, maybe only 800 people landed on the website. Now, out of the 800 people who landed on the website, when I, as a marketer, I look at the data, I realize that 800 people have come from this Facebook campaign to my website, right? And all of this, like I said, gets tracked through unique identifiers. So the URL itself will capture, and I'll show you how a UTM is made. I'll explain to you what is that. So all of the data is getting captured there. So I am able to see that out of the 50,000 potential audience I had on Facebook, only 800 came to my website, right? That is how on-page and off-page data are combined to get an insight out. If I was doing a campaign together from 38 to 50 was one campaign and a 25 to a 35 was one campaign, I would be able to see that these guys, I showed 50,000 people here and only 800 people landed. But when I did this campaign to a 25 plus audience, out of the 20,000 people who were targeted, 2,000 people landed, which is more, right? I am able to combine two levels and then say that the people who are between the age of 25 to 35 are better for my brand, for my business, than people who are 38 plus. And this is an insight that comes out of this. Share of voice is how much people are speaking about your brand outside. So if you are in a category, if you are selling cornflakes, how many people are talking about Quaker? How many people are talking about Kellogg's? You understand this because it's possible. Sorry, can everyone go on mute? It's possible because you can actually, and there are listening tools available. When I say listening tool, there are social media listening tools. Every time someone writes on my post, right? If I'm Kotak, every time someone writes on my post, every time someone writes, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, on YouTube, whenever people come and write about me on any of these platforms, I will get that message that these guys have gone and written about your product on this page. And I can go and reply to them saying, I'm sorry. And you would have seen these messages, right? Really sorry about this for the inconvenience caused. We will get back to you, voila. The message that comes out, that is where you're able to receive, understand how many people are talking about your brand versus the industry. And, you're able to reply to the comments also that come in. Okay. Now, on data captured on the website, I'll just explain one thing. Time spent on the website is actually repeated. So I'm just going to delete this. Heat map. Time spent on the website is obvious, right? How much time did we spend on the website? Usually on an e-commerce site, you spend around 9 minutes on the website. So if I go to an Amazon, I will minimum, actually not minimum, I will on an average spend 9 minutes on the website. However, there are people who will drop off within 1 minute, or there are people who will stay for 20 minutes, and Amazon, that website will take the data and store the data to understand how much involved the person is. Heat map is literally, and I will show you, I'll just Google and show you how it looks. This is how a heat map looks. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. You all can see this, right? A heat map is where has a person spent maximum time across the website. So if you have spent time on this section, right, what happens is it's believed, even in newspapers, right, that people start reading left to right. And then people go down. I don't know if you all have actually, we were taught this, by the way, when we were studying journalism also, we were taught this. Even in newspapers, people have this. They read from left to right. Then they go down here and then they move like this. That's why Times of India, this, the Niche wala ad that you see, I will just not open this. This ad, right? You can see this ad in 2014 was 28 lakhs one day, right? It's obviously one day. Was one day 28 lakhs because of this. People usually read this. They open the paper, they read the left side, then they go and read the right side, and then they go down and see this. Then they read this, and then they move up. And that is why all our news, when we were, learning journalism, they taught us that. They said, keep all your important news here, then second important news here. This to anyway is an ad, and then whatever is like entertainment or fun news, keep it here. And then the person will go up. So this is the same for even heat maps. People do this, people go down here, then people go down here, right? This is how people move. And this is a heat map that we can get on our website. We put a visual analytics tool. You will be able to figure where the person is spending maximum time reading. Okay. Now, bounce rate is categorized by anyone who comes to your website and leaves in less than 10 seconds. 10 seconds and the person is out. So if I click on this, I go back here. Imagine I click on this and I close it, or I can go back. If I do this within 10 seconds, I'm considered to be a bounce. Now, bounce happens because of two reasons, okay? One is that the person clicked on something thinking it was something else, but realized quickly कि यार ये मैं नहीं check कर रहा था, and I go back. So if, especially when we are searching for, when we are doing assignments and we are searching for information, we will see, we'll go and put, research on this topic, and we will go and we will start reading up things. And then when we are at a place where we click and go in and we say, nahi, nahi, ye to thesis paper hai, chhod de, and I go out immediately, right? That is considered a bounce. So that confusion happens because of how the title is mentioned, right? And the meta description. And we have talked about this in SEO. When people see a title and meta description and think it means something else, and then they go in, is why they bounce off. The second reason why people bounce off is because the website is not loading fast enough. Now, there is this entire insight which says that see, 40% of people abandon a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. Now, 40% is huge, and 3 seconds is nothing. No? Matlab, imagine 3 seconds is what? But this, and see, a 1 second delay in page response can result in 7% reduction in conversions, right? So this, if you start seeing people who are bouncing off, the first thing you should do is check your page load speed. See how quickly the page is loading. If the page is loading in 7 seconds, then that is the reason why people are bouncing off. So if your bounce rate is very high, if your bounce rate is say 85%, and then you go and check your page speed and see it is 7 seconds, then you know that it's because of page speed, right? So correct that. Any questions in this?
Hello, ma'am.
No questions? Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, so as you told that what we do on website that all get captured. So what if we take screenshot that also get captured or what?
No, it doesn't, because screenshot is done through your desktop. So no one can track what you do on your using your desktop tool, because screenshot is your own desktop tool, right? It's like this that I have. Now, if I take a screenshot of this, only my desktop knows that a screenshot is being taken. It is not something which is done in the browser. Whatever web, and the reason it's called web analytics is because it has to be on the browser for it to get tracked. So because the tool is a part of your website itself, it will not be able to track that, because this is preloaded into your website, right? It's not opening on a browser. So only an action which is done on the browser, which is this, like a Google Chrome or Mozilla, only all of those things can be tracked.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now, forget all the crazy jargon words, right? Just see the other things. Now, there are 4 types of analytics that people do. And also, I'll just mention this to you, that the 4 types that you see here, no, they may be different people in the team. There are a lot of companies where in the analytics team, you have a person managing a descriptive analysis, managing a diagnostic analysis, are different people. Because all of these, like I said, they have different state of skill set to know, to be able to figure out these things out. So the first thing, which is descriptive analysis, right, is about what happened. And in what happened, you will say that out of 50 people who came into the boat page, 20 people bounced off within 10 seconds. 2 people bought the product, and the remaining people went on to different products. That is what happened, right? In this, you are just mentioning, saying, this is my observation. And in analytics, observation is also it's actually a very important point, even though a lot of people don't give it importance. Without an observation, you cannot go through any other level of analytics. Now, if I'm not able to figure out only how many people came and how many people left and what did they do, how will I do any insights on that? So observation analytics is descriptive analysis, saying what happened. The second thing is, why did it happen? Now, like I said, if people are bouncing off, if you're seeing an 85% bounce, and you go and check your page speed, and then you see your page speed is 7 seconds, you know that this is why it happened, right? So the checking of this is what happened, why did it happen? So this descriptive analysis guy will come and tell me, Pooja, yaar, itne log bounce ho gaye. So if I was a diagnostic analysis person, I would go and check first page speed. Then I would check whether my meta descriptions and all are okay. And I will find out the reason why this happened. Then predictive analysis is where I give the data of what happened and why this happened to the team which does prediction analysis. Now, predictive analysis is all of your data science, companies that are set up, right, is based on predictive analysis. Saying in the last 6 months, 3 months, 5 years, 20 years, what is the kind of behavior your brand saw? Basis this, how will the trend move? How is it going to be? So if I'm saying that on my website, 70% of the people who come in are women, right, or are men, if I want to change that, right, what do I have to do and what is actually going to happen? So if today it is 70-30 men and women, what is going to happen? Is the numbers going to change in the next 5 years? If it is not going to change in the next 5 years, if I want to change it, then prescriptive analysis tells me what do I need to do. If I want to make my 70-30 ratio into a 50-50 ratio, what do I need to do is prescriptive analysis. So prescriptive analysis, guys, will tell you things saying campaign mein kya karna hai, whom do you need to target, which is the age group you need to target. Predictive analysis will say, if you continue like this with the campaigns that you're currently running, you may maximum go down from 70-30 to 60-40. But usse kam nahi hoga, you will not be able to capture a bigger share of the female market. That is predictive, right? So all of these things are just basic questions saying what happened, why did it happen, what will happen in the future, and if we want to change it, then what do we need to do? Okay, is there any doubts or any queries on this? No queries? All okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you. So we look at two scenarios here, okay? Now, when age group data, and I will be showing you Google Analytics tool also. When we look at data, if I look at this data, my first thing is what is the observation I have? Can someone tell me what is the observation? All of these are age groups, by the way, 25 to 34, 18 to 24. These are all age groups. What do you observe out of this data? Can anyone tell me? Anyone
Hello.
saying? Yes.
Yeah, Atul, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
Great. Yes, bolo.
Yeah, so in that data, we show like age group of 25 to 34 around. They are spending more time on online, on
Yeah.
website
So these
as
are
compared
people,
to others.
these are traffic. So this is, sorry, I've not mentioned that anywhere. This is traffic. So you're absolutely right. The age group of 25 to 34 is the maximum age group that we have on the website, right? Perfectly right. Thanks, Atul. The second data, if you see, is 18 to 24, right? The green one. See, this is a pie chart. We are saying that this blue, entire blue, is a 25 to 34 age group. 25 to 34 age group constitute a 34% share of the traffic that I'm getting on my website. So if Amazon's getting this website, 34% of their website, people coming onto their website are people between this age group. The second most people who are coming to this website are 18 to 24, right? This green one. And then it goes down. Then it's 17% is 35 to 44, etc., right? Different things. Now, when I see this data, that's the observation. Now, why did this happen? Now, this why depends on 2-3 things here, right? Because one is maybe my campaigns are only to this audiences mainly, which is 18 to 34. And because my product may be in a little more expensive range, the 25 to 34 people are more likely to click and come in because obviously they may already have been earning for the last decade or so, right? So the purchasing power is a little more than people who are 18 to 24. So maybe that is why, and that's why I'm saying that there are multiple sets of data to figure out why a particular data set is working better. This can also be because the offer that you're giving on your website currently at this point is for products which are more suitable for a 25 plus year old, right? So the diagnostic analysis is a person who will look at every data point about whom did we target, which platforms did we target them on, which are the products we targeted them by, and finally, who is the person who came in, right? That analysis will be done. Now, basis this and seeing all the data for the last 5 years on the website, I will say that, listen, this data is only because we were selling more of this expensive 70,000 का phone on the website. iPhone launch हुआ इसीलिए ये audience आ गया. However, once this month goes away, this data will change, right? This, by the way, we can take it on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Usually these reports come out on a monthly basis. So using predictive analysis, you will say, yaar, ye to yehi mahine ka hai. Other months it will go back to normal. So don't worry about it. Now, if someone says that, do you need to do something to change this data? No, you don't need to, because the data will correct itself after 1 month. However, if you see this and you say, yeah, but I also want I want my 35 to 44 to also be a big data set because they to have more money. वो लोग तो शायद 1 लाख का phone खरीद सकते हैं. So if I want that audience to become a bigger chunk, then what should I do? How do I do more campaigns to that audience? Can I change my creatives to have older looking people, right? So people can associate with that audience. All of that becomes prescriptive analysis. Okay, everyone clear? Can I get a thumbs up if you all are clear so I know that I have not put you all to sleep? Everyone okay? Guys, if it gets confusing anywhere, let me know, okay? Please, because I do know it's a little heavy topic. But even if you understand the basics, that's enough. Okay? Thank you, guys. Yes, Atul.
Yeah, ma'am, I want to just ask, is depend upon seasonal also, na? Like this, we are upcoming like Diwali. So mostly in Diwali's festival, the searches is more constantly on like Flipkart, Amazon, on that also.
Yes, yes. And that is, and what happens is during these festive seasons, if we realize that the reason is because of festive season, then we don't need to do any prescriptive analysis or any change, because then we know that this hit has become because of the festive season and it will go down as it is, right? So that is and that has to happen at the diagnostic analysis where you have to figure out the festive season chal raha hai kya? Akshay Tritiya hai kya? Is that why people are coming in to buy more gold? Or is that why this audience is coming in? All of that information has to be given by the diagnostic analysis guy to the predictive guy, so the predictive guy can make a proper decision. You're absolutely right. All of those, even external factors, environmental factors, things like about COVID also, right? Things about economy. If the economy is down, people are losing jobs, then you will see a drop in all of these numbers. So also considering all the external factors. Okay. I think one more person raised their hand. I couldn't see who it was. But can you unmute and ask the question? Hello? Anyone else have raised their hand? No? All okay? Now the same thing if we look, and I've just taken a very smaller example, but about new and returning visitors. Now new visitors are people who have come to the website for the first time. A returning visitor is who has already come in again. So when I go on to an Amazon, because I'm already a logged in data, Amazon has enough information about me in the past, saying what are the products I like, which are the colors I choose when I buy earphones. Now I have been purchasing from Amazon for easily around 8 years now. The number of earphones I've purchased in 8 years is crazy. So Amazon knows that I look at these specific colors or I look at these specific features. Now, when they show me a data, the recommendation is basis what I have previously purchased, right? So if they know that I buy more of say Samsung phone or more of OnePlus phone, then they'll show me that data. So when I come in, the first banner I'll see or the first image I'll see will be that specific phone, right? So if you have returning visitors, then you have a lot of data to go by. However, what do we do when we have more new visitors? There are a lot of brands which see a lot of new visitors, right? Where returning nahi hai. So for example, like I was saying in one of my examples, people don't buy a car every year, no? So which means that the returning visitor 5 saal mein ya 3 saal mein ek baar aayega. All the other people who come onto the website will be new people who are looking at getting a car. Now, how do you figure out what to show the new guy? What we usually do is this, that when the new guy comes in, we are able to understand in analytics, all of this data goes into different buckets, right? So you know what is the age group of the person that's coming. You know which city they have come in from. So what you do is at the back end, you create data segments and communication saying, if someone comes from this audience, from this place, from this interest, right? This is the kind of website I will show them. This is the first product I will show them. So you will use insights that you had from your returning visitors data, and you will put, because of whatever minimum data you have of the new visitor, you will go and put that information about the new visitor. What else you can do is, if you don't have any information about the new visitor, the person's logged in, like I logged in without officially signing up, then what I do is I will say that usually when people come to my website for the first time, this is the kind of search that they do. This is my popular product, which is why when you go to certain websites, it will say most popular, right? Or bestseller. You would have seen those, right? That is because they don't know anything about you. So what they do is they are just focusing on products which are their best sellers, hoping that because most people like that product, you will also like that product, right? And that's the other way that we look at this kind of data. All clear, right? I'm
Hello.
sorry, I'm asking. Yes.
Ma'am, how they track on that? Like the visitor is coming, it's a new or like a
It's all
regular
there in
person
Google
because of
Analytics.
email ID?
No, it's all
That's why I'm asking.
it is because of IP address.
Okay, understood.
So IP address and no login, right? Or first time login. So if you've gone to a new website and you've logged in for the first time, if you've gone to ClearTrip, say for the first time, or booking.com for the first time, and I've signed up instead of login. Signed up means first time, right? Because I'm signing up for the first time. So sign up means first time. And the second is because my IP address has never been seen before on the website. Yeah?
Work.